guys, it's Lanita with MDC Homes, and I wanted to do a video answering some questions that I tend to get a lot of. I try to remember and I try to write them down because I am asked the same questions over and over, which is why we at MDC Homes came up with house rules before anyone signs a pre-construction agreement with us and submits their deposit. They have looked over the house rules. So nobody can come back later and say, Lanita didn't tell me that, or I didn't know that. You know, sometimes people have selective hearing and they hear what they want to hear, or they go to Matt and say, well, Lanita didn't say that exactly. And Matt's going to be like, I know how she is. Yes, she did say that. So we actually have house rules. So, if you're thinking about using us, I'll be more than happy to forward those to you so you can review them. But one of the biggest questions I get all the time is about the topography or the topo map. You should have gotten one at closing. So either if you know the seller, call your realtor. It should be in your closing docs. If you didn't get one, I mean, you can probably call the county and they should have one. If you happen to know who the surveyor was, they're going to be able to provide something too. So, like for example, in Chattanooga, most people get them in their closing docs. I've had people from Jasper Highlands, River Gorge Ranch, Signal Mountain, Lookout Mountain call me. Sometimes I have them. Sometimes, believe it or not, I have another person's topography. So every time someone sends me their topography, it's not just theirs. It tends to have everyone around it. So every time I get a topo, I actually download it into my computer. So believe it or not, sometimes I'm like, wow, I actually have yours. It's 4 lots over from someone else's. And then I will forward that to them. But you should have the topography. Another question I get a lot is, I'm an electrician by trade. Can I do my own work at the house? And that is a big no. We do not allow anyone to come in and do work in the house that we are building for you. There are several reasons why. And I actually wrote all these down so I could remember. First, let's say that, okay, you're an electrician and you want to do all the electric. Would you buy a house from someone that you knew that the homeowner did their own electric? I'm going to say no. And I know this because in Illinois, where I was a realtor for, still am, 17 years, we had sellers that said, well, I'm a plumber. I did it myself. I'm an electrician. I did that myself. I did that myself. I did that myself. And it scared buyers. They were like, oh, I understand that you did all the work, but it does make people nervous, believe it or not. So when it comes to resale time, you are going to disclose that you did all the electric yourself. And typically a buyer will be scared of that. The other reason is we line up subs for that. So we have somebody to do that. We've already lined them up at the beginning of your job. They know exactly when they're supposed to show up at your job. And the last thing that we want at MDC Homes is for our subs to get irritated thinking we're not keeping them busy. Instead, we're just letting everybody come in and do work in their house. We don't want to lose our subs. So we don't want to have the reputation of MDC Homes lets everybody come in and do whatever they want. So you know what? I'm going to go to these other builders. I'm not even going to work with this builder because they're not keeping me busy. We have to keep them busy. The other reason is we need to control the job. So we know exactly when every sub comes in. We cannot, have you fly in to do the job and then, you drop the ball, or all of a sudden you call and like, oh, I have COVID, I'm sick, I can't come now, and it throws your job off. So that's another big reason is we are going to control the job. Tracy, our project manager, is controlling everything. He and Damon set all of this up with our subs. And then the big thing is if we let you guys do it, if we let an electrician do it, then someone's going to want to put their own roof on, and then someone else is going to want to get their tile done themselves. Then someone else is going to say, my brother-in-law has a concrete company. I want to use him. It never stops. And before you know it, we've lost control of the job. And I kind of equate it to a chef. I don't know one restaurant that a chef as a customer is going to come in and say, I want to go in the kitchen and I want to cook my own steak, because I don't think you're going to do a good job. And I don't think I need to cook that steak myself. No. So I don't know a lot of builders that will let people come in and do stuff like that. I'm sure there's a few that have lost control of their companies and they're so desperate for business. They're like, yeah, you can do the work. You can do the work. We're not. So that is a flat no. So that was a big thing. Oh, and another thing for electricians, just so you know, you have to apply and obtain a residential property owner's electrical permit. So if you decide to work with a builder that lets you do your own electricity, make sure that you go and apply and obtain for one of those, because if you get caught, probably not the best situation. So the answer is a flat no. So everybody asks, can I do this? Can I do this? No. When you guys move in, you are more than welcome to put up the tile in your house. You are more than welcome to do whatever you want. But under our watch, we have to control everything. So the other question I get a lot of is, can I buy my plans online? That is a huge fat no. Moving forward, MDC Homes will not accept any architectural plans that you purchase online. It's not that they're horrible plans, but we run into a lot of issues because they look pretty on the internet, but when it comes to actually physically, building the house, sometimes they're not the best plans. And then what happens is we have to keep stopping and going back and trying to figure it out. It's like, a recipe, same thing. If you have crappy ingredients, it's not going to taste as good. It's the same thing. If you have a crappy architectural plan, maybe that's not the best, you're going to run into issues. For example, we have seen architectural plans that have come across our desk, believe it or not, where the plans call for a second story and there is a full bathroom above the great room. And that makes no sense whatsoever for several reasons. Typically for the great room, then you have to let the ceiling kind of drop a little bit because you got to put all the plumbing in. The noise factor, who wants to listen to the toilet flushing when you're in your great room watching television? If there's any plumbing issues and stuff like that, so it's going to affect your great room versus putting it maybe, against an exterior type wall. Some of the plans that we have seen have kind of surprised us, but just moving forward, we will not accept under any circumstance online plans that you purchase. If you choose to use a draftsman, we have to do a review period. You can absolutely use a draftsman, but we have to look at the plans prior to us committing to you. Again, I cannot tell you how many times the builder has to stop what they're doing and they look at them and they're like, this doesn't make sense. These are not buildable plans. It could be the roof. It could be so many issues that people have no idea. I am partial to architects only because that's how I operate everything probably in my life. I don't work with accountants. I work with CPAs. I'm very, very particular because I do believe you get what you pay for. And I believe in the saying, pay now or pay later. So an architect, obviously, and again, this is not to piss people off, architects go to college for 5 years. They then have to be an intern somewhere for 4 years. So they have 9 years of experience. There's nothing like that. Yes, are they expensive? Yeah, they're about $8,500 to $12,000. But your builder can build right off those plans. They can actually take the plans and pretty much build right off of them, which is going to help you with change orders. It's going to help with us having to keep stopping and looking and thinking, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. So again, it is not to piss off people. This is not what this is about. But we are allowed to have our opinion as a company of who we prefer to do work with. So just don't buy your plans online. Sometimes it might work out. We just don't have time. We just really, really want you to use a local architect. We have 3 that we highly recommend. I know that I've recommended them to some clients to them, and they've already started hiring, they've already hired the architects, they're already starting to work with the architects, which is great. But those plans are so much better. I can't even tell you. And if you talk to any builder, a builder will tell you that. They'll say, oh my God, their framing package is spot on. Their roofs are spot on. This is spot on. So yeah, again, this is opinion based. So don't come for me I bought my plans online and the builder didn't have any issues. Oh, they probably did. You just didn't know it. So the other thing is I hear a lot of is, can I purchase my own appliances at Home Depot? No, I would never purchase my appliances at Home Depot or Lowe's or any big box. Typically, they're not the same. Typically, they're not. Usually, there's one digit that's off. They're not. Typically, it's not the exact same product. Once in a while, yes. Typically, no. So, if we were to allow you to buy your own kitchen appliances, for example, and you run into an issue, good luck on customer service at a big box place, because it's probably not going to work out for you. Typically, you then have to contact the manufacturer. It's a lot of red tape that you're going to have to go through just to replace something or have a question. So I think people are smarter just to go through, and we highly recommend Ferguson's. Their customer service is unmatched, and typically, their pricing is better. And I actually pulled that up. I pulled up a KitchenAid 36-inch wide, 20 cubic feet counter depth refrigerator. And at Home Depot, it was $2,221. And at Ferguson's, the exact same one, down to the exact model number, was $1,998. And that doesn't include the builder's cost. So you're looking at least $225 for that. And don't forget, even if we were to allow you to shop at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, we're not going to let you purchase anything. We make the purchase because that's how we make money. So we cannot have you bringing in all your products. And I've seen that. I've seen people drop off plumbing and electric and light fixtures and tile, and I ran over here, and at Hobo's I found this, and then I found this on sale here. We just need to control the job better, and I think that Matt Cole has some really fantastic ideas. We're not here to gouge you. We understand there's sales. There's a reason there's some things for sale. We want to use local Chattanooga companies only because of the customer service. And it's interesting because when I do call and speak to our vendors, they get back to me within 20 minutes. This has been amazing. So they definitely respond to builders a lot differently than they just, talk to a Joe Schmo. So the answer is no. But hopefully I'll get some more questions from people, and I'll start writing them down. But again, we're not trying to be difficult, or we're just not. We've just seen companies lose control. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. There's so much chaos. No one feels safe in the sense of you always want to work with a builder where you feel safe, that they're taking care of you, that they're not going to gouge you, that they're not there just money, 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 money. And so that's something big that Matt has really, really kind of established at the company. We want our clients to feel safe. When they see us, they feel good. When they see us, they're happy. We're killing it out there, and we're super excited. We're starting 2 builds in Jasper Highlands this month, and we're starting 2 in River Gorge Ranch, and then we have 1 going in Menlo, Georgia, and then we have another one that we're going to be starting in Chattanooga, and then we do have a waiting list, so which is exciting. But we are controlling the number of jobs we have because you get phenomenal customer service, which is amazing. Matt Cole is on your property all the time. He can answer the phone. He can do so much more because we are limiting and controlling what we're doing. So if you have any questions, Lanita@mdchomebuild.com, or you can always call or text me on my cell phone, 630-341-1545. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.